Where you want it?
Bay 12, please.
You wanted them. Here they are. Hello there, Batman fans. And welcome back to another Bay 12 video review. Today, we're reviewing the long-anticipated Dark Knight Trilogy Wave. And I gotta say, it looks pretty good. This has got to be one of the most anticipated Batman waves for McFarlane Toys. The Todd father has delivered once again. So we have 5 figures in total, including the Build-A-Figure, which is Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. We've got Batman, Scarecrow from Batman Begins, the Joker from The Dark Knight, and also Two-Face from The Dark Knight, and then of course, like I said a second ago, Bane is the Build-A-Figure. So each figure comes with pieces to assemble Bane, and they all look so awesome. This has been a wave we have been very excited for at Bay 12. So anyway, here they all are. We're going to start off with the villains and work our way up to Batman. So Batman we're going to save for last. But before we get to these guys, first things first, a special thank you to McFarlane Toys and a special thank you to the Todd father. Now, this isn't something that we got special for being Bay 12. Josh just put in his order as soon as they went up for pre-order the other day. And Josh just put in his pre-order the day they went up for pre-order, which was last week. And he got his shipping notification a few minutes after he pre-ordered. So it was not only did McFarlane Toys have these figures ready to go when they put them up for pre-order, they're already sending them out. I know I've seen lots of posts of people already getting theirs. Well, here is ours. So, like I said, they did something very special for us, which is, again, not because we're Bay 12, not because they knew who we were. They're doing something special for their customers who go directly to the McFarlane Toy Store. So here is that special thing. In there was a bonus figure, and it was interesting because at first we were like, uh-oh, maybe something was wrong with the order, because when Josh put in his pre-order, he did not order the Black Adam with the throne, which was, I think, a Target exclusive, which we will be reviewing at some point soon, because I don't think we've reviewed this one. We have reviewed a Black Adam figure, but it was not this Black Adam figure, so stay tuned. We will be reviewing this figure, courtesy of McFarlane Toys for sending it to us. Now, you'll notice the packaging isn't in the greatest condition. The hang tag is torn. There's some corner dings. I mean, other than that, the box is pretty much fine. And then there's like a sticker, I guess, to indicate damage to the packaging. In any case, we're going to review it for you guys, courtesy of McFarlane Toys for sending us a bonus figure. This is the letter they attach to it. So this is a cool new thing I guess McFarlane Toys is doing, again, from their toy store, where, well, they explain in the letter. I'm just going to read it to you. Dear McFarlane Toys Store customer, on rare occasion, we tend to come across toys that have lost the battle on their journey to our warehouse. It can be a slightly damaged corner or a dent in the packaging. As a token of our appreciation, we have included an extra toy in your order from our collection of damaged packaged toys. These are chosen at random and placed in your box. So this is the figure we were given, chosen at random. The packaging is bent, crushed, or dented. However, the item is new. If you're already an out-of-box collector, this should fit right in with your collection. And this next part is the part I really, really like. This is just so sweet, I think. Very sweet. If you're normally an in-package collector, this is your chance to let a toy breathe and experience the one-of-a-kind smell of a freshly opened new toy. Enjoy getting your hands on this free gift. We sincerely appreciate your support. Thank you for choosing McFarlane Toy Store. Why would you order anywhere else? If you either received something like this with one of your orders or haven't ordered with McFarlane Toy Store before, when a new wave or new piece in the McFarlane Toys line, regardless if it's DC Multiverse or something else, after reading such a kind and personable letter from a toy company that doesn't need to do anything like that, doesn't need to just give away free toys just because, well, the packaging isn't in the greatest shape. It's not in horrible condition, guys. The packaging isn't that bad. The hang tag is being torn right here is the biggest issue with that. It's not that bad. They didn't have to do that. No other toy company does that, and no retailer certainly does that. So if you're searching for DC Multiverse or other McFarlane toys, why would you pre-order anywhere else at this point? Now, I get it if it's an exclusive that they don't put up on the McFarlane Toy Store, or maybe you're just not quick enough to it and it just sells out just a little too fast. I get it. But if you have the opportunity, especially with the sales and deals they're constantly doing that, again, other retailers and stores aren't doing, I'm just saying, McFarlane Toys takes a certain level of care to their fan base, to their customers, and every other toy company out there needs to take a minute, pause, look at the Todd Father and what he's been doing in the toy industry, and take some pages out of his playbook, because no other toy company takes care of its fans like McFarlane Toys. Not even close. I name one other toy company that does something remotely as kind and unprompted as this. I can't. Maybe you can. If you can, name them in the comments. Give us an example of something truly kind that they did unprompted, not to make up for some kind of mistake they did on their end. Name it in the comments for me. I would love to know. But nothing rings a bell in my mind. Todd Father, I have nothing but respect for you. I mean, I've had a lot of respect for you, but that respect jumped a few more points today because of something as little and as simple as that. I can't express how truly awesome this level of customer service is with the toy company. And I sincerely hope that these, like I said, these other companies just take a step back and look at the guy who has been doing really, really well in the toy industry, because he beat Hasbro and a bunch of other companies out last year, by the way, by a good amount in sales, without greatly increasing their prices on their products, mind you. And wow. That's all I'm saying. Wow. But anyway, it's time to get to the Dark Knight wave. First, we're going to be starting off with Scarecrow. Scarecrow is one of the main villains of the first installment of the Dark Knight trilogy, Batman Begins. And this figure looks really awesome. I will say though, while he does come with the Build-A-Figure arms for Bane, and these are not swappable hands for Bane, these are swappable hands for Scarecrow, by the way, I would have liked, accessory-wise, if he had come with maybe a soft rubbery plastic, kind of cloudy, translucent, almost spray look piece to just kind of attach to his wrist or something to kind of simulate him shooting his fear toxin out of his wrists, because he can fire fear toxin out, which is how he gets Batman and, of course, a number of the other characters he gasses throughout the series. And that would have been cool. Other than that, I think this figure looks really cool, at least in the packaging. So there it is in the packaging. On the back, you've got the artwork of the Bane Build-A-Figure, and I think that looks pretty awesome. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. And here is Professor Crane fresh out of the packaging. And the design looks great. This is a really awesome figure. I love the tattered and very, very dirty Arkham coat that he's wearing, along with the Scarecrow mask. The head sculpt looks so good. Has that noose kind of hanging around it, that broken noose, which looks really, really good. All the different stitchings on the mask look awesome. All the different textured bits and straps all over the suit. You've got some frayed straps just kind of dangling and hanging around the arms and stuff. And then of course underneath, because he just throws this on over his normal everyday work clothes, you've got his suit, his regular work suit on underneath, those nice shoes. And overall, it just makes for a really awesome and solid Scarecrow figure. Truly fantastic. Now, I did say I wish he came with like a plastic like gas cloud like piece that again attaches to his wrist. Now, I do like how he's kind of got his hand in this gesture, like when he's throwing the fear toxin out of his suit, which is pretty cool. You do have a fist right here. You have a couple of like pointing gesture fingers, one for each hand. In addition to that, in addition to my comment about wanting a gas cloud piece, I also think it would have been cool if we had gotten a swappable head as well, so we can have a masked and unmasked Scarecrow. Now, knowing the Todd father, there is still a strong possibility that we could get a unmasked gold label of this very same figure at some point in the future. It's not outside of the realm of possibilities. It is definitely something he would probably do. Not that I have any prior knowledge or any leaked knowledge of something like that happening. I'm just saying it would be very cool if something like that were to occur. Now, aside from all that awesome detail, he is fully articulated. Head is on a ball joint. Fully articulated shoulders. Single jointed elbows for Scarecrow. Wrist joints. Within the coat, you do have a waist joint, hips, little bit of that inner thigh joint that McFarlane likes to do on some of their figures, double jointed knees, ankle joints, and of course the toe joints. And last but not least, here we have his data file card with some awesome Scarecrow artwork there on the front. On the back, you have some words and things. Real name, Jonathan Crane. As a young child, Jonathan Crane was subjugated to sick and twisted experiments on fear conducted by his own father. Emotionally scarred and mentally unstable from the ordeal, Crane spent his childhood living in fear until he made an important realization. If he could control his fear, it would never again control him. Over time, this interest in fear became an obsession. Graduating from college with a doctorate in psychology and specialty in phobias, Jonathan began experimenting on others. Subjecting them to a hallucinogenic fear toxin he developed that brought out their worst nightmares. Although Batman has developed a number of remedies to counteract these toxins, Crane is constantly improving upon his formula, creating more potent and deadlier versions. That was a really nice and long bio for him. I really just thought they were going to make it real simple. Psychologist, experiments with fear toxins, gasses Batman a couple times. But that was really nice and in-depth, so cool. Now, while Joker is probably the most exciting of the rogues in this list in this wave of figures, and it would be argued to save the best for last, I am doing these characters in order of appearance, and Joker was the main villain of The Dark Knight, as well as the first villain of The Dark Knight, because, spoiler alert, Two-Face becomes Two-Face. Harvey Dent becomes Two-Face towards the end of The Dark Knight. So, we're going to start off with Joker here. And looking right into the packaging here, I could not be more excited. We actually have 2 figure stands for Joker, which is nice because that means now we have an extra figure stand for Bane. And Joker's figure stand is a pile of money. Like the giant pile of money that he burned after he was standing on top and slid down and all that good stuff, which was really awesome. So he comes with all that, and what a fantastic looking figure. Oh, I can't wait to get this one out. On the back, pretty much the same as the back of the Scarecrow figure, and that's pretty much it for the packaging on Joker. This has got to be the most exciting sculpt out of the entire wave. As great as the wave is overall, I would say the most anticipated figure is probably the Joker here. Now, the NECA version that came out a long time ago was pretty great in detail and especially great in accessories. Definitely better in accessories versus this Joker here. As awesome as the Todd Father did on producing this Joker, I gotta say the NECA one is better in accessories, but the face sculpt on this one is definitely better in my opinion. That is an incredibly accurate likeness to Heath Ledger. He even got the scars really well, the furrowed brow really well, where you can see the makeup was kind of rubbing off. The hair looks really, really good. That nice dirty green color. And then the trench coat looks great. Nice shiny purple. The hand sculpts aren't bad. Got an open gesture hand for this one. We got a fist for this one. The inner suit looks really good as well. Nice little gold chain there. Nice pen striping on the suit pants. Got the little tie there in the background. All the nice little textures and folds of his shirt and vest are pretty dang good and well sculpted. And other than that, I mean, aside from the awesome pile of money, that's kind of all you get, which, as cool as this is, I mean, yeah, I know DC toys can't have guns anymore, but we could still, you know, give him 1 or 2 of his knives that he has in the film, maybe another wad of cash, although I would prefer a knife over a wad of cash just because he really has an emphasis for liking to use knives in this film. So, accessory-wise, I feel like it could be a little bit better, but the figure itself is incredible and very well done. Fully articulated, head is on a ball joint. Fully articulated shoulders, upper bicep, double jointed elbows, wrist joints, waist, hips, inner thigh sockets, double jointed knees, ankle joints, and those toe joints. And that's pretty much it for articulation. Now let's put him on his stack of money here. There is a peg right there for the back of his left foot. And on the money stand, he looks pretty awesome. Some swappable hands at the very least, I think, would have been bare minimum decent accessories for this, especially some open hand gestures in case you want to pose them like that. And also, real quick before I forget to mention it, a Joker card or two. A Joker card or two would also, or like even just a few fanned out Joker cards or something would have been really cool in his hand. Other than that, again, great looking figure. And real quick, we also have his data profile card here with one of those really awesome Dark Knight posters of the Joker. This was a really good poster. And there's the words and things on the back. Real name, unknown. No name strikes terror into the hearts of Gotham City's citizens quite like the Joker. In a city overrun with larger-than-life criminals, the always laughing villain stands alone, a complete psychopath with no moral compass whatsoever. The Joker, whose real name and identity remain completely unknown, is characterized by his chalk-white skin, green hair, and permanent rictus grin stretched across his face. But there isn't a single thing funny about this particular clown, who only finds humor in the suffering of others. Next up, we have Two-Face, the second classic rogue of Batman's coterie of supervillains from The Dark Knight. Another really awesome looking sculpt. He comes with the torso of Bane, and on the back is that Bane artwork again, and that's pretty much it for the packaging. And here is Two-Face. Harvey Dent. Fantastic. Really awesome looking figure. I also love how well done they did on the burns on his suit jacket as well, aside from, of course, that gruesome face sculpt on one side. Harvey face. On the other side, Scary Face. Put them together and Harvey Scary Face. Really awesome figure. But again, needs more accessories. It needs at least another swappable hand. At minimum, it needs a swappable hand for this left hand. As awesome as it is to have the coin fixed to his left hand, and that really is an awesome accessory, by the way, it would have also been great to just have a swappable hand. Now, you can, however, take this swappable hand. Now, you should be able to of course, take this swappable hand and just pop it off at the wrist joint and just use one of the other hands you might have from your DC Multiverse collection, or use one of the hands you got with Professor Crane here and swap that out, and then you have two regular hands for Harvey Scary Face. I would demonstrate that now, but I was having a really hard time getting that off, and I don't want to break the wrist, so I'm probably going to have to do the hot water treatment on this if I want to get that hand off. And again, for those of you who don't know, the hot water treatment is if you have joints on a new figure that are too tight, or swappable limbs or hands, for example, that are a little too tight and you're worried you're going to break it, heat up some water. Don't quite bring it up to a boil, but you want it nice and hot, like pretty hot. Soak it. Soak whatever you're trying to loosen up in that water for roughly 20-ish, 30-ish seconds, and you don't really need any more than that. And it should give you the softness you need just to get done what you're trying to do. And this is, again, something you especially want to do with NECA figures, because NECA is the most notorious brand to break due to tight joints like that. So, just to bring that back up again, just a helpful little tip from a collector to another collector. But aside from Harvey looking really good, he also is fully articulated like the rest of the wave. Head is on a ball joint, fully articulated shoulders, upper bicep, double jointed elbows, wrist joints, waist, hips, inner thigh socket joints, double jointed knees, ankle joints, and toe joints. And that's pretty much it for Harvey Scary Face's articulation. And here is the data profile card for Two-Face. And again, they used another really awesome poster from The Dark Knight for this one. I absolutely love that they used the I Believe in Harvey Dent button poster with Harvey in the background. Really awesome. Really, really awesome. Words and things on the back. Real name, Harvey Dent. A prominent and well-educated district attorney, Harvey Dent fought valiantly to uphold the law and make the city a better place. In any other city, it would have worked. Not in Gotham City, a place where greed and corruption stretch from the depths of Crime Alley to the shimmering heights of the mayor's office. Dent's spiral into Gotham City's madness came swiftly after a criminal threw acid into his face, leaving half of it horribly scarred. Seeking refuge in the underbelly of Gotham, the name Harvey Dent and all the good it stood for was lost, and Two-Face rose from the darkness. Not a bad data file profile for Harvey. And that is the case for many origins for Two-Face. However, that is not the origin of this Two-Face. Or at least the way he gets scarred, of course. And spoiler alert, in case you haven't seen The Dark Knight, he doesn't get acid thrown in his face in this rendition. He gets horribly burned from chemicals being on his face, and then a fire getting started from an explosion of the warehouse that he was being held in by the Joker's people. So, not quite acid in the face. Interesting that they would deviate from the Dark Knight details on this one, I think. But other than that, not going to get too hung up on a data profile card here. Most of us have seen The Dark Knight, and this was a really good figure. And last but not least, the main man we've all... No. And last but not least, the main figure we've all been waiting for in this wave, the Batman. Here is the first ever McFarlane Toys Christian Bale Batman figure. And he looks incredible. 3 batarangs. See, this one's got some good accessories. 3 batarangs. Comes with the legs of Bane. Picture of Bane there on the back. And that's, pretty much it for the packaging on this one too. And here is the Dark Knight. This Batman figure looks incredible. This is amazing. Probably my favorite Christian Bale Batman figure, at least in this relative scale. Definitely the standout figure in the wave in my opinion. And this looks like it's the Dark Knight / Dark Knight Rises suit. Just based off of some of the subtle details between it. Like the neck section, for example. The details on the gauntlets, where his little fins flare out. You got the indentions for where they flip up and then could, launch also out of them, which was another really cool feature that Lucius built in. The detail on the belt is good. The chest, all the armor pad, the textures on the underparts of the suit. This is an incredible, incredible figure. And also, I gotta say, it's definitely within the realm of possibilities for vehicles. I really, really hope we get the Bat Pod in DC Multiverse, because that would just be the icing on the cake for this wave. Now, of course, there's lots of other characters that most certainly deserve figures in the DC Multiverse from the Dark Knight trilogy, but this core wave itself is really awesome and really well done. Batman looks amazing. He has the best accessories in the entire wave. He comes with not 1, but 3 of his signature bronze, goldish looking batarangs that he has since Batman Begins. They look like they're a bit large from how they typically appear on screen, but still a really, really awesome accessory. He can, of course, hold them really well. Now, there's no way to store these on his belt, unfortunately. And he also, of course, has his grapple gun. The grapple gun looks like they just cast in that same solid color, which it would have been really cool if they got a lot of those other painted details on there, the blacks, the grays, some of the, I think there's some also brown colors and bits on his grapple gun from the Dark Knight trilogy, but I'll take a solid bronze grapple gun over no grapple gun at least, because again, out of all of the figures here, he definitely has the best accessories. Now, fully articulated like the rest of the wave, head is on a ball joint. Fully articulated shoulders, soft rubbery plastic pauldrons here, so you get good clearance there over the cape. double jointed elbows, upper bicep, wrist joints, upper torso, lower torso, hips, inner socket thigh, double jointed knees, ankle joints, and toe joints. Truly an incredible figure. Here is his data file card. Another one of those theatrical posters. This one I think is from The Dark Knight Rises. I think, if somebody remembers, please let me know in the comments in case I'm incorrect. On the back, you've got words and things. Real name Bruce Wayne. As a child, Bruce Wayne watched as his parents were brutally killed in Gotham City's crime alley. Traumatized by their deaths, he devoted his life to becoming the world's greatest weapon against crime, the Batman. He's a master detective and an expert martial artist, but his greatest weapon is his mind. Batman has a plan for every occasion, as well as high-tech weapons, gadgets, and vehicles to assist him in his relentless pursuit of justice. Now, after 10 years in retirement, Batman returns. Okay, yeah, so then this is Dark Knight Rises Batman, in that case. And it is now officially time to build Bane. We're going to start with the legs first. Here is his left leg. There's that socket thigh joint that I mentioned on the figures. Like a lot of the Build-A-Figures we get from McFarlane Toys, this is typically how we assemble them, or at least assemble the legs. So we're just going to line that up, push it in until we hear that click into place. I think that was it. Grab the right leg, do the same thing, line it up, and then we're just going to push it in until we hear it click into place. All right, I think that's in. Next, for the arms, we have the right arm here. That's just gonna pop right into that socket there with the ball joint. Same thing with the left arm, just pop that in at the ball joint. There it goes. Now for hands, we have a wide variety. A pair of swappable fists, a pair of kind of open gestures and a fight stance kind of like hands, and a pair of slightly different grasping hands for each hand. We're going to go with the grasping hands on this one. So these are some pretty big wrist joints. Oh man. Oh, wow. I figured out why I was having such a tough time getting that hand on the wrist. Be careful and make sure that your figure's joints are properly assembled when you go to put that on. I noticed after some time struggling that the two ends on the wrists were different, and that's because the wrist joint on the right hand for some reason was assembled and put in backwards. So the piece that connects between this joint and the forearm is larger than the other end. So that's why I was having such a hard time getting that hand on, and then it was also a little difficult getting that pulled out, turned around, and put back in correctly. And once I did that, the hand went on really easy because, well, it was the proper size peg for the proper size joint. I didn't have a way on hand to go heat up some water and do the hot water treatment on that, but for those of you at home, just bear that in mind and be extra careful when you're assembling yours, so that when you pull on that wrist joint, if yours is misassembled like this one was, that you do it safely without breaking your figure. So just be forewarned, that was something on the spot that I just went through, and it was an easy fix. Luckily, I was able to do it without breaking the wrist joint, but just be careful and give it the hot water treatment anyway. Better safe than sorry. All right, now let's get that other hand on. That took maybe half a second. That was way easier. So yeah, make sure it's properly assembled, because I didn't put that wrist joint in there. It was already attached. It was just put on incorrectly, so watch out for that. And then now for the head. Just goes on a ball joint. There we go. That looks great. A really awesome Bane figure. Another awesome Bane figure. I think the Todd father really likes Bane. He's put out a few really good Banes over the course of the McFarlane's DC Multiverse line. And this one is definitely an awesome Bane. I love all of the swappable hands he comes with. I wish we could have got some more swappable hands for some of the other characters as well, but hey, at least Bane came with plenty. Usually we don't get swappable hands for Build-A-Figures. Definitely not 3 individual different pairs of swappable hands, let alone 1 swappable pair of hands. So very, very cool that we have 3 sets of hands that we can mix and match for this figure. Once assembled, he is fully articulated. Head is on a ball joint. Fully articulated shoulders. Upper bicep, double jointed elbows, wrist joints, upper torso, hips, upper thigh, double jointed knees, ankle joints. Ooh, those are a little stiff, and there's toe joints. What an incredible wave overall. Again, could be a little bit better with just some more accessories. However, the detail on these figures are great. The articulation on these figures are really great. And it makes for an incredible wave. Again, shout out to the Todd father for bringing us the Dark Knight trilogy wave. Hopefully there's more characters on the way, because like I said earlier, there's plenty of other characters to make figures out of from the Dark Knight trilogy. And a lot of fan favorite characters that deserve action figures of their own and deserve that wonderful McFarlane Toys treatment. Who's a character you would be most excited to get a figure of in the DC Multiverse line? I gotta say, the one I want the most after this would probably be Ra's al Ghul. The other main villain, probably the main villain, the main antagonist of Batman Begins. I think a McFarlane Toys Liam Neeson's figure would look pretty awesome, don't you? But again, name a character you would love to see get that treatment in the comments below. Stay tuned for more Bay 12 video reviews. Stay tuned for more DC Multiverse reviews, because we do a lot of DC Multiverse content here on Bay 12, but also a wide variety of content here on Bay 12. Like and subscribe. Follow us on social media for more. And if you're local or visiting in town, come check us out inside the Shops at Willow Bend Mall in Plano, Texas, inside Order 66 Multiverse. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. Same bat time, same bat channel.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.